floor 1. I'm gonna hit my backslash and walk so we have time to chit-chat about the dungeon stuff. Also how you identify sound monsters. You walk by them and they don't do anything, that's how you get their sound. So, floors 1 through 10. Always has 4 floors. 4 rooms. No matter what, you will always have 4 rooms. 4. The room you open up into will not have traps in it. It will also not have the teleporting. You usually need anywhere from 4 to 6 monsters to open up the cairn. And that's the key that you see on the map next to floor 1. If it's not silver, that means you can't go up. The first monster is Sprite, and I will showcase the whole walking thing. I walk right by him, he doesn't do anything. But I can still attack him. And the most he'll do is fire at me. That's it. He also stays put, so if you want to move him, you have to move far enough away that he'll actually attack. And then you can line of sight him too. Palace Deathmouth is in the fight category. You get in front of him, he will attack. He has a haste buff on himself, make it faster. But walking really doesn't kill that much time. It gives me time for things to spawn and kill extra to get my XP. Floors 1 through 10, you can actually climb so fast that, you know, you don't actually spend time killing, but you should. And if your ether is not that high, you kind of want to spend a little bit of time on floors 1 through 10 killing stuff, so I just walk. A couple spawn on the way, and I kill it. We have gold chests. They will never be mimics on these floors. And they always drop pomanders, and it's always in the item section that's on the left side of my screen, and they help make the dungeon a little easier. They're not mandatory, but they do help. And on this floor, we actually looted 2 steel and 1 safety. Steel makes you harder to kill, and safety clears all traps on the floor. Now we're going to floor 2. Easy peasy, right? My ether is not that high. I always try to reset it for deep guides, and that's what I'm going to do. So that I can showcase looting blue chests, what they do, and how the ether goes up. Fortune drops chest from monsters. It's random. It's not that high a percentage, but it's still better than none. I tend to save those for monster rooms attached with the site. A lot of times if I'm walking like this, I'll walk straight through the room, because by the time I hit whatever traps, it's that big. Antelope is sight. And watch, I can fight right next to this sprite with my walk on, and it doesn't do anything unless I stand right on top of him. So it's like, you can walk up and whack it, and it's dead before it can do anything. And I'm really not worried about traps when I walk like this. Like, very chill. Strength makes you hit faster and more often. It also makes healing potency stronger, so sustaining potion or a healer, if you have one in the group, will heal you for more while you have strength up. I'm gonna sit on those until I start getting freebies or I get closer to the boss. A lot of times I don't even need those to fight the boss. Death case is easy peasy. Death Mouse, he's in the sight category, haste buff. And I will often repeat myself about what monsters do so that it becomes memory, muscle memory. Sprite down, so I'm gonna kill the death mouse, or the antelope and the deer. Okay, anytime your monster will go like that, that means they're about to cast something. Let's see what you... Oh, we hit an explosion trap. Okay. Never, ever open a blue chest while your health is low. I can hit a sustaining potion. I can hit a high potion too. 20-second cooldown. And then I'll open this. Thankfully, nothing happened there, but sometimes that thing explodes. So if you're under 80%, you're dead. Then if you're going for a solo tile, you're redoing this. So, yeah, make sure your health is 100% if you're going to use that for monster bait kills or for whatever's inside. Blue chests can turn into mimics. They have ether, nothing, or explosion. Keep that in mind with blue chests. And yes, I'm going slow on purpose because I don't want to climb too fast. But and at this, I mean, I'm in no danger of timing out walking like some people would consider it boring, but it gives me time to explain things. It's a guide. I'm not here to speedrun. We'll do the sprite last since we're walking. I can do provoke. And normally if you're walking, I would say stay on the side of the wall, but that's no guarantee you're not going to hit a trap like a, you know. So I just learned you can hit a trap either way. Is it less likely? Probably. Is it impossible? No. Because I've hit a lot of traps on walls and in doorways that it's to the point like, I'm going to hit it. Just know what you're going to do when you hit a trap. That it was enfeebling, so it just puts innervation up and it just reduces damage, and damage taken is increased. Lust can turn you into a succubus. And it casts Void Fire 2, AoE ability. The bat is sound, so we can focus on the death mouse. Kill makes you harder to kill, and I'm now at 3, so that just means the next one will be a freebie. And I've got auto lock on. You push your R button. I don't know what it is on the controller. I don't play on controller. I've never been able to figure that out. And I kudos to everybody that can play, because it's not me. Antelopes, both of you traits. Vulnerability up debuffs. I'm gonna provoke the death mount. Provoke is very highly underestimated. And we use Blight. Blight means less monster on the next floor. Open up that teleport. And it's supposed to reduce, per room, the number of monsters in half. Rounded up. So that's why it's good to pair that up with Affluence. Search on it today, and the reason they say that is it gives you more the Affluence gives you more chest on the next floor, and mixed up with the Flight will reduce the number of monsters you need to get off the floor and in each room by half, so that gives you more time to open up chests. It's good to have because it helps you fill up on pomanders that you're desperately needing the higher you go. I should the lower you go, but when I say higher, I mean because I'm thinking floors 1 to 200. When I'm thinking like that, it's an increased number. Even though technically you're in a ruin, but you're also in an alternate dimension. So, you know, the rules don't necessarily apply when it comes to climbing and descent. The hole was discovered in the ground, but that doesn't mean we're still in the ground. We could be in the realm of the dead for all I know. And your sprint will help you speed up walking. And like I said, I'm not in a hurry because I can just kill whatever reason. So it gives it time rather than just standing around for 5-6 minutes. Movement is better than not moving. I'm still averaging 3 minutes per floor, so we're still moving along pretty decent. I have learned that staying around for a full 60 minutes doesn't really increase the odds of a significant increase in experience or level. You get a lot of experience at first while you're heading to 60, but then you get diminished returns on the experience points, and it forces you to climb or descend, however you want to look at it. I'm gonna go the other way since it teleports that way. just gives me the false impression that I'm just strolling through a ruin. Like, nothing can go wrong, you know? Do not walk casually for bosses. I tried that, and I'm actually didn't do bad until I got to Nabeth and tried to walk that, like this. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. I did try it, though. It ended horribly. As soon as it started casting that Doom AoE conal effect, it was over. I also did it on my game, so I also reposted all my earlier videos of the warrior runs because I did spend a significant amount of time doing Palace of the Dead on my warrior. Made it pretty far. I got to like floor 169 before I got disconnected. This is when DDoS was doing like a lot. Constant DDoS attacks, constant disconnects. I was getting disconnected almost every run. And it was frustrating to actually quit doing this for quite a while because it was so depressing to get that high and I'm getting disconnected and, you know, I get that high and it's like, why? And this is right before they made the changes to the dungeon. The deep dungeons, where if you can get back within 10 minutes and you're not dead because you pulled a whole bunch, your run can continue. Sometimes you would have to log out for 24 hours and just hope that the run was safe. That didn't always work, but it was better than nothing. In that case, the run did get saved. I waited the whole 24 hours. I started back at 161, but at that point, my momentum was gone. So I timed out on 169 the second time. But at the time, that was the highest I made it. And then I made it to floor 173 on the dancer, and I died to a mimic. Blue chest, that one exploded in my face. Goblins are sight, antelope are sight. Goblins do an AoE effect. All it does is damage. It does not do anything else. I like to put up my tank threat because when I do roulettes with people or dungeons with people, I don't want to get into the habit of not putting that up. So in case you're wondering, well, you solo why you're putting your threat buff up, so I don't get out of that. That's why I do that. It's not for any other reason. Because I sometimes did Palace of the Dead with other people in the group, and I would forget to turn that on. I'd pull an entire dungeon, they're busy DPSing, and then they're dead because I didn't hold it. But yeah. Now I just make it a rule to turn it on when I have it. I'm gonna go ahead and kill that guy. And as he rushes towards you, he'll just auto attack and he'll die. Awesome. There's really not a whole lot of effort going on here. Like 1 through 10 is a cakewalk. Also the most boring set in the whole set. Like the whole climb, descent. I'm gonna keep saying climb, even though I'm gonna correct myself right afterwards and say descent. Because for the longest time, I just assumed climb. And somebody mentioned, hey, you're in a ruin, you're going down. I'm like, oh, well, I've never seen a single stair in here, so you're teleporting. So, you know, it could be like Remove the Slime, where you're just teleporting in a maze. Who knows? Blue chest, let's see what happens. My Aether increases. We got the Goblin, which is Sight. Does an AoE, no buffs. The Goblin does an AoE, he's patrolling Sight, and the AoE is a bomb thrown at your feet. If you're standing right on top of him, he throws it off. Hippo surfs are proximity. So even if you try to walk behind them like I'm about to do, it don't matter, because you're still gonna fight them. That AoE is a stun ability, so don't stand in it. And even if you do, all it does is stun you. Even at walk, if you're constantly walking and moving, you should be able to get out of any AoE effects or fatty effects. Fine. You'll be right at the edge sometimes, but you'll still have time to get out. Strength just means I hit faster. Sit on it. When I get closer to floors 9, I will go ahead and pop the Affluence and the Flight unless I get extra. And then Fortune I'll also pop on that floor to see if I can fill up my pomander. It is looking kind of skimpy. Goblin, Sage, does an AoE attack, and all it does is... And like I said, you can walk around the room like most people do. And you'll probably avoid most traps, if not all of them. But I've learned that's not always guaranteed, so I don't worry about it. Not on these sets. The only time you might want to worry about it is if you're pulling massively big, like for score runs, speed runs. And then, yeah, you might want to hug the wall. Or at least fight them in the hallway. The only problem I've ever had with the hallways is the fact that patrols like to sneak up on you. And it's not going to be a problem until the next floor when you get a bunch of dung beetles, the big ones, and they're patrol, their proximity, and they do a charge ability. And if your ether's not very high, if you're a caster, if you're a healer, yeah, it hurts quite a bit if you got more than one on you. And you don't have a sustaining potion rolling out, but if you got a lot of them on you, even that sustaining potion might struggle a bit. And I don't have a witching in this, so I do have 2 lusts, so we have something to kill the boss with. It's awesome. The bat is sound-based, but he also has a conal ability that he casts in front of himself, and if you're standing in it and don't get out of it, it does accuracy down, making it, you know, where you might miss some of those hits. The Hipposurf. Get him first. Got that stun ability. And, you know, the cool thing is you can pick this guy and stops casting him. Pretty soon, I won't have to walk through the rooms at all. And that's the other reason. I don't have my axe throwing ability yet, so I am busy just walking through, because I don't feel like walking around the room. Walking. I feel like I'm just marching on. Hi, Miss Mark. Goblin. Biggie. Bat. Come on, y'all. Ow. There's the ability. Accuracy down. If you get hit by it, you can leave. Hey, we're making really... Now, if you're trying to do this in 30 minutes, I don't recommend, but I'm not attempting to do it. Not on this playthrough. And not during this guide. That's something else entirely. Maybe as I get more experience and start clearing better and knowing exactly what to kill on the higher floors. Now, like, I can do runs, the score runs up to at least score 120, but after that, I start getting a little uncomfortable because I don't have as much experience on that. I have absolutely no experience on 170 and up. I've only been on it once, and I died on 173. So, but still, that was recent. So happy. The DDoS attacks actually enabled me to get that high, so I was like ecstatic. Cried when I killed the 170 boss because I've never killed it before, never seen it before, and I killed it on my damn turn. Absolutely. See, we got multiple paths here. The dung beetle, like I said, is proximity, charge, and patrol, goblin sight patrol, and he throws bombs. I'm also using legacy camera, so what that means is that when I'm attacking and I'm on the move like this, like with throwing axe ability, it means I can keep attacking and not face the monster like you would standard camera mode. And a lot of people aren't comfortable fighting with legacy because it's slightly different. It moves different, but once you get used to it, it is incredible. This is what you call a treasure room. Got lots of monsters. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a sustaining potion. I already did. This is where throwing a fortune down is good. Monster rooms, it's not guaranteed. You have a chance of more chests dropping. Doesn't hurt to do your rampart, your reprisal, and arm's length. And berserk too. Easy peasy. Even walking, that's like no biggie. Strength, I'm gonna go ahead and finally use that. That way I can pocket this. And that hornet should have like targeted me because proximity, I just triggered an innovation trap, so 30% this damage makes me scared to beat up. Final sting, we've got the stun ability if final sting goes off, so I'm not worried about it. And the goblin's throwing a bomb at me. It doesn't really hurt. I tend to use regular potions sometimes to save my potions, even though I got over 4,000. I still remember the days when you hoarded those, because the pot shards, it didn't come from anything but brown chests back then. Now they drop from every monster, and the potions that used to drop from every monster went into the bronze chests. See, that's 2. I'm glad I waited. That's why you always wait for your health to be back up. Makes me harder to kill. And the floors are getting progressively harder, and I could go into normal walking at this point, but I see no point. It gives stuff time to spawn. It's every 45 seconds that stuff spawns or respawns. And so it gives me a chance to get my experience up. And I'm not going to stay the whole hour like this, but it's definitely hard when your ether's not up. You're walking like this to get this under 30, which is fine. Kind of like I get a happy medium between the worlds of 30 minutes versus an hour. Now, I may not always hug the wall, but I will always pop a sustaining potion before going into a room. That way, if I do trigger a trap, I've got something healing going on in effect. The sustaining potion does regen for 30 seconds, and then you can reapply it every 15. So, it used to be a 15-second potion long time ago. I didn't start playing Palace of the Dead back then, but from what I understand, it was 15 seconds originally, and they didn't even have those originally anyway. So, that's why Red Mage got the first clear. Because of their double casting ability. I don't have a sight, that's sad. What I will do is attach the closed captioning ability on this that YouTube has. There will be closed caption available for people, for those that are hard of hearing. So I'll go in and make sure everything is spelled correctly once that is available. So, because normally I type out and make it all nice and pretty, but because I want to do a live talk through as I do this, like, which I'm recording, but I'm talking it as I do it, so it doesn't sound as cleaned up and polished. as some of my other videos. Safety clears all traps on the floor. Small beetle is Sight. He does a poison debuff. Doesn't really hurt that bad. I do have poison drops, so if it's really that big of a deal, you can pop one of those. I never pop one of those because it wears off too fast. And if you're not pulling massively for score runs, then it's not a big deal, and even then, this is more than enough to keep you. I'm not gonna waste poison drops on that. It used to be a big deal, but with sustaining potions being rather plentiful. Good. And the other benefit to walking like this is I don't need as many sustaining potions, so I continuously collect them. Like, if we look at my bag, I have got so many sustaining. Not even funny. And that one's to a different dungeon. But yeah, I've got so many. I should go put some of those in my retainer bag. That's out of sight. I hope I get one. I'm gonna go ahead and pop an affluence for the next one, and then see what happens for floor 9. For floor 8, we'll see what we get, and then for floor 9, before I climb to floor 9, I will pop the affluence and the flight together, and also use that fortune. Got an extra free string. Awesome. But see, I'm walking and I'm at 32 minutes. And so it's not that big of a deal. 32 minutes left. So some people are like, well, how do you got time to kill everything and still make the portal? I got plenty of time. It's not a problem until you get to the higher floors. And even then, you can pull the whole room, have a steal up, kill everything, and move on. You're hugging the walls, you don't even have to kill everything in the room. Just kill the proximity or sound, or the easy stuff, and good to go. I usually like to pull like sound and proximity monster on the higher floors, mostly because those are going to be the problems to get by. You can get around sight unless the whole room is sight, or a monster room, but that's like how I manage it. What I need to get out of the habit of is hoarding my pomander, because I'll hoard it like, you know, a drought in Texas. Or California. Mega droughts. Don't drink water or use too much water, because you never know when you're going to get the next rain. Yarzons are sound and do a vulnerability up on you. Oh, and I turned on that froggy. See this one. At least I got to steal up. I'm just casually walking. Like I'm just tagging. That's how much I'm worried about it. I'm not. People like to panic when they turn into a frog. The only time you panic is when you got like the whole room. Just pop a high potion or let's go. I should come back. What do you know? We got the Hippo Surf, which is proximity, Palace Beetle, which is sight, and then the Hornet, which is proximity with final sting, so you want to kill the Hornet first. goblin is sight, does an AoE ability, and it doesn't hurt. I'll just throw my axe. Benefit of legacy mode. Now we got 2 beetles, both sight with poison debuffs, and a Yarzan, which is sound and has a vulnerability. Ugh. Kinda cool. We'll go ahead and pull them all. Bronze chest can give you a Phoenix Down, potions, turns into a mimic, or a pot shard. So if it doesn't turn into a mimic, it gave you one of the other. And you know, before the recent patches, Phoenix Down was not stackable. You'd only carry one, and then the game would automatically just throw it away. But we on. Wait, no! Go teleport. Thank God. So we're gonna go ahead and cast Affluence and Flight. And we did manage to pick up a sight, so we'll go ahead and pop that. And a fortune on the next floor. Yay. Yay, yay. So the flight just means less monsters, and each one in each path, but because I'm walking, there's the sight, there's the fortune, so hopefully the chest will drop. The whole point is I'm trying to fill up my thing. Oh, Phoenix Down. So we got Dung Beetle. Charge. I'm gonna just keep throwing my axe as I'm walking. Don't worry about it. That is an explosion trap, which is also referred to as a landmine. You can use those to set up monsters and kill everything as long as you got a sustaining potion or some kind of mitigation. It is okay to do that. In fact, it's highly recommended. And blue chests, if they'll blow up, can also be used to bait monsters and bring them in, and as long as they're below 80% health, it might actually be 70, but I say 80 just to be on the safe side. It will kill them. Yay. And the Aether is decent. As long as you're yellow, you shouldn't be in any danger of death gaze killing you. And even if you were gray, which is very unlikely, should not die. Not if you got a lust, a steel, a strength, and if you got any sustaining potions, you should be. That is an eating trap right there. It puts silence and pacification on you. Pacification means you can't use your weapon skills, and silence means you can't use magic skills. And your echo drops will only take off the silence, and it won't do anything about the weapon debuff. But if you are a healer like a sage, white mage, scholar, or an astrologian, you can use the echo drop to take off the silence, and Asuna to take off the other one. There it is again. The silence trap. That's what they do. We got a steal, so we will go up to the Bosch. Everything perfect. And I'm still gonna keep walking until I get to the floor boss. And then I'll take the walk off. I mean, it is kind of amusing to walk the boss, but yeah, let's not do that for that. Intuition helps you find hidden hoard chests. I'm surprised that's the only one I've got in this entire set. No point in dropping it now. There might be one here, but I don't like to waste it. If it's the only one I got, I will drop it when I start floor 11. That way I will something. I have 3 left. Never get that lucky on the stage. Let's see, just throwing my axe is a strong attack. You wouldn't think so, but ever since I switched to legacy mode and I just walk and throw my axe, that stuff dies. And I'm level 21, so you know, 23 minutes and I'm only level 21. So that just goes to show you really don't get that much experience points doing the full hour. It just means I might have like 20 extra minutes, kill things on each floor, but because of the diminishing, really not worth it. Take that off. We're ready to take on Death Gate. So Death Gaze has a few abilities. Before I fight him, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. You have Whip Crap, which is instant. It does 180 damage. Storm Wind is the second attack. Telegraph total AoE. Just step out of it. Even if you stay in it, it's not that bad. Especially if you got potions to heal through it or sustaining potions. Abomination is a telegraph point blank AoE. Inflicts slow. Big circle. Just know that after a couple hits, after Stormwind comes out, you want to kind of start stepping away. Lumisphere is a telegraph circle AoE on random player. Since we're solo, it's going to always be on us. Aeroblast is a room-wide AoE. Inflicts wind burn, physical DLT, potency 15 seconds. And try not to stand in that stuff. But I could pop a Lust, because I have Strength and Steel up, and then my Tincture of Strength. But because I want to showcase this for the people that might not have Lust, we're going to do it. Still going to pop my food buff and my tincture. The reason I do the food buffs is not necessary. Why am I not attacking? Is because some people may feel more comfortable. You may not have a steel or strength by the time you get here. That's the Whip Crack. Next one is Abomination. That's the one you want to step out of because it inflicts slow on you if you don't. It's no biggie, but it's kind of a pain in the butt when you're not casting this. Good. This one is Lumisphere. Next one is the room-wide AoE. He's going to do the Whip Crack again. That's the Stormwind, puts a windy buff on you. Next one is the Lumisphere. No, Abomination. That's always the same rotation, but sometimes I can. Okay. Now it's Lumisphere. And he's dead, so biggie. So, and then that's that. So, until next time for floors 11 through 20. And you can technically still walk that too. Not that bad. But just 1 through 10, and I will see you next time.